Hey, yo, what's up? This is Disciple Marshall Curtis Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day, everybody with them. Yeah, so, um, this video is gonna be about like some news that I don't think people really know, but I'm not going into a new year on the same stuff, but it's just certain things that people should know about what happened, the history of things, so that for me, so that people don't have it in the wrong definition, in the wrong, they don't have the wrong narratives, they don't have the wrong perceptions of who I am, they don't have the wrong history, and they don't have the wrong twisting around of things. So that's why I say stuff. For clarity's sake, for clarity's sake, it's important. So between 2000, I would say 18 to 2019, um, from Florida to Phoenix to California, when I went to San Francisco, some type of politics, American community politics, was telling people that I had raped some teenage girls. Like, now anybody that know me personally know, first of all, back then, those two particular years, I was backsliding and I was drinking. I was living an adult life. I was around nothing but adults. Teenage girls could not even get into my circle. They couldn't even get into my life. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. You don't drink, you're not smoking. So you're not gonna have any interest for me. And I'm not gonna wanna have sex with them. So that's not even gonna be a conversation. And then in those years, 2018, 19, I was in and out the streets, struggling in the streets. So what would teenage girls be doing around a homeless person? That's first of all. They're not even gonna slow down and talk to me. They're not even gonna. And when could this happen on the streets where the police could instantly scoop me up, me being homeless? Okay, so if you're homeless and somebody saying that you did that, then how come they ain't come and scoop you right on up off the streets? You ain't changed no routines. You ain't do nothing differently. So they would have scooped you right up off the streets. Easy. While you sleep. Don't woke you up, put the light on you. Sir, you gotta come with us. Boom. It's over. Yeah, that's how that go. See, I live in reality, man. That's the difference between me and y'all. A lot of y'all, man, you don't really know the lifestyles and things you talk about. You don't. Because if you did, when it comes to crime, you know certain things. If a person was guilty of raping teenage girls, they wouldn't have freedom. Period. I don't care where they did it at. Because they're gonna be found some way, somewhere. That don't last long. Doing something like that, you won't last long on the streets. Period. Not unless you hiding very good. Very good. I'm talking about not coming outside good. At all good. I'm talking about no food stamp cases and none of that. Because your social security number is gonna pick up. And if they get a certain description on you, they're gonna know who that person is eventually. And then that's when the manhood is gonna start. That's when the manhood will start. So that's one thing you can know, man. If something like that had happened, I wouldn't have my freedom. Okay? That's very first thing, man. But people said that to keep the community on me because they didn't have nothing to stick on me. So when I left Florida and went to San Francisco in 2018, at the top of November, I left and went to San Francisco. So when I did, in November 2018, and then went to San Francisco. That's what they tried to take and put on me while I was going from Florida to San Francisco. Yep. It was a lot of bushwhack police in Florida. A lot of bushwhack, which means unsophisticated. A lot of unsophisticated police. And they just couldn't accept the fact that they didn't find nothing on me. They couldn't touch me. They couldn't do anything. And that's where we get into racism. Okay, you didn't find nothing, but you're not satisfied with that. And you should be, as a police, you should be glad that you found citizens that you couldn't find nothing on. You should be glad that you have found a citizen that really you couldn't pin nothing on. But because they're racist, all American racists, patriots but racist, then they're gonna try to play a game of making something stick on you and seeing if you can survive it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like, if cops are dirty enough to shoot people, they're dirty enough to get involved in politics and try to in the community and try to assassinate your character. Okay? Anytime you see death, everything else is under that. Anything else could be under that. If they can kill people, then anything else can happen. Okay? If they can kill you, these police can be guilty of that. They get charged and everything. Then what else? They could do everything else. And you see clearly that's what's happening. So why would it be far-fetched for you to believe that? Yeah, man, some of y'all just think everybody is holy, and that's your problem in America. You think your politicians are holy, you think your police are holy, without spot and without blemish, and ain't nobody perfect down here. And the politics of police, the nature of police it's far from perfect. It's far from perfect, and you really don't know the behavior and the nature of how they interact with the community. You don't know really what mindset they on. You don't really know. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I went through, man. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's raining like never before, man. Because a lot of people, man, they gotta suffer. You don't put nothing like that on somebody's name and say some crazy stuff like that, man. I mean, somebody could have just had walked up. Anything could have happened. God would have always protect me. But I'm saying, let's just say it was somebody else. If you put that on somebody's name, who knows what they would do? The community would do. You don't put something crazy like that on somebody's name? Nah, bruh. That's what I'm saying. And some people they don't even know what to do to a people like that. Okay, what are we supposed to do to them then? Well, look around. Look what's happening to the community. That's what's supposed to happen. Because a lot of people get playing games, messing around God's people, messing around good people, and they don't think nothing's supposed to happen. Ain't nobody playing no games, bruh. This ain't Chippendale. This ain't the Rescue Rangers, bruh. I don't know what you're stuck on, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But we in 2022, man, and I'm not, no one's playing any kind of games. You know what I'm saying? I can't stress that enough. And it's no such thing. There's no such thing of stressing it enough. Nobody's playing games, man. When you minding your business, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you should have no problems in your society. Period. I don't care what people feel. I don't care if they get hunches. If you don't have any charges, you don't have any tangible operations, then you have no choice. You have no choice in the situation. You have no options. You don't have any options with that person. Not that person. We don't care what you feel. I could say I feel a lot about the government. I could say I feel a lot about these police shooting people. I could say they some racist group going around shooting black people. I could make up all kind of scenarios on you. Have people want you dead. I mean, you are killing people. Wouldn't be far fetched for someone to want the same, for you to have a taste of your own medicine. But But I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person to say, okay, well, look how police shooting people. They maybe they're some racist group. Who knows? You know? But yet, that's basically what they do. They go around, and I think they're involved in politics. It's in the community through what they do and what they say and the information they put out on people. That is being involved in politics in the community. And a guy like me, I'm not taking it. Apologies are for kids. You teach your children to apologize to other people so that they will learn to take responsibility for their actions. But by the time they are fully competent grown men and women and no longer children, now they don't only verbalize apologies, they have corresponding actions to show their sorry nature, the fact that they're sorrowful for what they've done. Apologies are not good enough for grown adults. I can't stress that enough. Okay, sorry, yeah, but sorry is not good enough sometimes. Sometimes sorry is not good enough. Just keep it 100. It's just not good enough. So, and then what am I supposed to do? Just forgive and nothing happens? No, man. That's why God is bringing justice. That's why God is bringing justice, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not a matter of forgiveness in this situation. It's a matter of justice. That's what this is all about. So while you're watching me, it's not a matter of unforgiveness. It's a matter of me seeking justice. It's a big difference. You can forgive people all day, but justice still has to be served. When people well knew what they did, and then what they did was so destructive, definitely justice has to be served. It's one thing to do something and then you don't see no effects of it anywhere. You don't see none that person really did in your life anymore. You don't see nothing they did. But when you're faced with what they've done, because now what they did created a whole different byproduct that is consistently in your life, then justice has to be served, whether I like it or you like it. Because it's a constant reminder. That person, when you're faced with a constant reminder, especially on a day-to-day basis of what somebody else did in your life, you need justice. That's the bottom line. If somebody killed one of your loved ones and that person is no longer there, and you're faced with day-to-day and absence of that person, that applies. You need justice. You don't have your kid no more. You don't have your family member no more. Your family member is no longer here, and you're faced with that day by day. And it's one thing to forgive. Yes, you can forgive, but you're faced with what happened day by day. And nothing's supposed to happen. Man, nah, bruh. Nah. Justice needs to happen. And so, I don't care what it used to be in the past. I don't care. I'm talking about now. And right now, and people like me, right now, here and now, I'm all about justice, man. And it's going to get served. I don't care. Like, some people look at the past and be like, well, you just don't know how good you got it. Some people had that happen and they died. Hey, I'm sorry for them. I really, truly am. But for me, in my personal life, it ain't happening like that. And that's why you see the plagues coming, you see the judgment coming, and everybody's trying to ignore it. But the truth of the matter, you know the things that you've been doing and the games you've been playing, and you should know if you're smart enough and if you're spiritual enough, you should know this is why it's happening. That ain't just cause it is. You ain't been seeing it. You ain't seen nothing like that. So this just comes out of nowhere. You tripping, bruh. That's what makes me. I marvel at people like that, because one minute you super superstitious, but then another minute you can see the writing on the wall and know nothing. But you the most superstitious person otherwise. You always talking about some crazy off stuff. But then when you see the writing on the wall, you can't say nothing about that. Like, bruh, I marvel at people like that. Mad superstitious, always talking about something happening. Always talking about what if this and what if that. But then you see something, you see the world turn upside down with COVID-19 and all these things happening, and you think you act as if this is just here. There's no spiritual insinuations behind this. There's nothing spiritually being implied behind this. And that's what I marvel at that. I don't see how you do it. I don't see how you go about life like that. But you're superstitious about everything though. I'm not a superstitious person. It's one thing to be spiritual, it's another thing to be superstitious. When you're superstitious, to me, it's a type of person that it doesn't logically, it all makes sense. There's no omens. There's it's like I'm talking about COVID. It's none of that. Nothing to point to. Nothing to point to. But you mad superstitious about different things, and it's not like it don't add up. I mean, I think mostly one thing we all agree on is karma. It's not superstition. We all agree on karma. You might not use the same word. You might not use the same term, but we all agree on the principle. And what people say karma is, to me, there's no perfect person, right? There's no perfect person. So karma to me is based on the scales. The good outweighing the bad, or the bad outweighing the good. And there's no way in the world any people, any nation, anybody, anything can be weighing down in the bad scales on one side, right? But talking about God is gonna bless us. Bruh, your scale is all down on the ground in the bad, man. There's no good, like you got like a pebble on the good side. You got whole sand dunes of evil on the bad side, bruh. And you know it. That's karma. While you looking at one pebble the other person did in their scales. You looking at one pebble. You keep looking at that same pebble, throwing that same pebble around, dropping it on the scale, making a big sound, clang, 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 that one little pebble. You got a whole sand dune of evil you doing over here on your scales. Done covered the whole side of bad. You can't even see the scale. It's covered up, it's covered in sand. It started with sand. And the whole thing, you can't even see the bad side at all. It's like, bruh, you can't be possibly serious comparing your scales to mine. Let's keep it a buck. That's for my enemies. You can't, you can't be possibly serious. You can't be possibly serious comparing your scales to mine, bruh. When you know darn well all you doing is trying to use the same little pebble, same little thing with me, and it ain't working. Now you practicing a form of insanity. God is not looking at none of you talking about concerning me. He ain't looking at none of that. You can talk about it till you gray in the face. You can talk about it till you blue in the face. He's not looking at that. He's looking at you. That's your karma too. You try to call me out, try to say, and then you made up lies? Nah. Now everybody's looking at why you got 40 states allowing adults to have sex with children. Everybody's looking at that now. That's karma. But see, superstitious people would say, oh, well, that's just what happens. It's kind of funny how he found that out. That's karma, man. You was trying to bury me with some lies, talking about I raped teenage girls because you couldn't pin nothing on me. All this stuff, come to find out, the same guy just so happens to find out that 40 states allows adult penis to go in children's vagina in 40 states in America. That's the majority of the country, penetrating children. Like we established, and I can't stress enough, people are either adults or children. It's no in-between age. So isn't it ironic and coincidental that the person that you was playing around just so happened to find this information? That's karma, man. That's adding to the sand dunes of foolishness that you've been doing. And you ain't got nobody to blame. You can't blame me. Blaming me is ludicrous. That's real. That's very ludicrous. When you've been riding around, playing around somebody you don't even know, which is me, you don't know me, and it's ludicrous for you to sit up and act like that means nothing, and that's not the reason why you're suffering, playing all the games that you're playing, this person is minding their business. It's ludicrous. That's ludicrous by any stretch of the imagination. If you believe in karma, you believe in all of this and that and the third, you know what I'm saying? It's foolishness when the person is not locked up, ain't no crimes, ain't none of these authorities or police stations lack people to come get you. They don't lack individuals to play with your life. So if that's not happening, then you have to respect that person's constitutional rights. Period. Like I said, I could pick out these authorities and be like, looks like this is a secret racist group. How do we know? Because all we see for the most part is black people being shot down or non-white people being shot down. We don't see nobody else being shot down. We all could speculate on each other in many different ways, bruh. If you really pay attention. We got children all around this booty shaking music. And you know children shouldn't even be hearing none of those explicit sexual lyrics. But you quick to talk about protecting children. But your children ain't listening to nothing but booty music. Might as well say so. Talking about all kind of crazy stuff. I'm just saying, man. And I can speculate how that's almost pedophile. I can almost say that's almost pedophilia. Children shouldn't be, in my opinion, in no videos where any lyrics or songs are talking about sexual stuff. Children, how's a child dancing around when you're talking about booty and getting women? Children shouldn't be in no video about that. But yet, you see it though. And people could speculate, hey man, that's weird, that's strange. That's what I'm saying. It's so much we could speculate on, man. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I said, if you don't have tangible crimes, you don't have tangible operations, you don't see that person locked up, then you gotta fall off. You gotta fall back and fall off that person, whether you like it or not. I mean, some people are addicted to the games that they play. They're their own sickness. They are their own sickness. But this is what's going to ruin this country. You like to play games, you find the end really funny. COVID-19 is not funny. These judgments that's coming on people is not funny. Seeing children in the news every week is not funny. So you're not even living in reality. When you look around from the time that you've been playing games, everything has changed. Ain't nobody laughing anymore. Nobody's finding this funny. The joke is not funny anymore, bruh. The game that you and the joke that you were playing with me is no longer funny because in reality, I'm winning. First of all, tables have totally turned and I'm winning. So you can't laugh the same laugh. Not concerning me. You can't even laugh the same laugh. Bruh, you looked outside lately? You looked outside lately. So how are you laughing at me? Looks like the joke is now on you. And I'm not even laughing. Not as consistently as I could be. Not as consistently as most people would, considering all you've done. People would be waking up laughing at you every day based off the fact of the games that you played, witch hunting me, gang stalking me from cross country, telling people that I did something with teenage girls, rape, man, putting that on a person. Bruh, some people would be laughing at you every single day, bruh. That's real. And then I'm just telling you, you don't live in the reality that we as humans live in. A lot of you don't. You do not.